This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, the New York Knicks take on the Boston Celtics. Ladies and gentlemen, you know when the Celtics and the Knicks get together, it is going to be a clash. They've had 2 clashes already this season, and this is going to be the third one. The series is tied 1-1. Both teams are 18-20 on the season. This game means a lot for both teams, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams. So you know it's going to be a battle. The Boston Celtics are currently in the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference. That means they're in the play-in at this point in time. The New York Knicks, they're in the 11th seed. Whichever team wins tonight steps into that play-in position. Obviously, it doesn't mean they're going to stay there because there's so much going on in the Eastern Conference, so much parity in the Eastern Conference. A small win streak or losing streak sends you up the charts or down the charts. So I'm excited for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the first game of a home and away stand between the Celtics and the Knicks. You know, so this game, listen, they've played twice already. This game might get a little testy, but that second game could get very testy. And the Celtics, by the way, they're on the second night of a back-to-back. They lost to the San Antonio Spurs last night in a close basketball game. Last night, the Boston Celtics dropped to the Spurs, who are 15-22 on the season, 99-97. Jaylen Brown led the way. Jaylen Brown's been on fire, ladies and gentlemen. He led the way last night with 30.6 rebounds and 1 assist. And I believe Jason Tatum came back from protocol last night. He had 19 points last night versus the San Antonio Spurs. And as you know, for the New York Knicks, R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle, for the first time in their 3-year history together, both had 30 points in one game. We want to see that way more often from these two guys. But let's hope that this is something that they're building upon and we can see a repeat of that tonight against the Boston Celtics. Let's go ahead and let's break down the injury report for both teams and, see who's going to be available for tonight. For the New York Knicks, you know what? They are as healthy as they've been in a while. Their new signee, Ryan Arcidiacono, he's not available to the Knicks. You wouldn't expect him to be available to the Knicks right now, but he's got a sprained left ankle. Nerlens Noel, he's cleared from health and safety protocol, but we'll see if he plays. He's been out for a long time. Right now, he's questionable. Return to competition due to reconditioning. But he's been out for a while. I wouldn't expect Nerlens Noel to play, for a few more games. He's really got to get that conditioning back. Clearly, Derrick Rose is going to be out, ankle surgery. Luka, G League. Kemba Walker, he's still out due to left knee soreness. And for the Boston Celtics, Peyton Pritchard, he's out. He's in health and safety protocols. And Broderick Thomas, he's out with lower back pain. But for the most part, the Boston Celtics are healthy. Of course, the Knicks are still missing 3 rotation players. Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, and Nerlens Noel. All right. 2 of your key backups are missing, and a starter is missing for the New York Knicks. So, that's where the game lies today. I expect no matter what happens, it's going to be a tumble out there. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that Evan Fournier can step in and have a good game, ladies and gentlemen. We need him to have a good game tonight. All right? He's been getting teased, and rightfully so. He's been getting teased, with donuts and steaks and all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we need Evan Fournier to play well tonight. I want Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau. I'm going to focus on Tom Thibodeau, not really Julius Randle, because I want Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. Got a little something stuck in my throat. I want Julius Randle and RJ Barrett to work on their 2-man game together. We talked about that just the other day. Right, but somehow, some way, we got to find a way to get Evan Fournier into the flow of this thing, because if we don't, we're missing a key piece. You know what I'm saying? We're missing a key piece. So I want Tom Thibodeau tonight. I'm hoping that they took some time to say, hey, let's find a way to get this guy in the flow. What is it that we need to do to really get him going? I mean, I think I have the answer, but I'm not Tom Thibodeau. Only Tom Thibodeau can work with the team to implement some of the things that need to be done. All right, number one, I believe that they need to work on more flashes to the basket. Send him backdoor cutting, off-ball screens so he gets open around that mid-range area, catch the ball and shoot in that mid-range area. I want to see him curls. I want to see curls. Also in that mid-range area, a little more screen and roll with him and Julius Randle. There's a lot of things you can do with Evan Fournier, and maybe even to allow him to get into the game, say, hey, we're going to let you facilitate for a little bit. Just a couple of plays. Just so that he touches the ball and he has it in his hand. Because I'm convinced, I'm sorry, and I know there's people that are mad at him right now, but I'm still convinced that Evan Fournier is a much better player than what we see right now from the New York Knicks and himself and him, not just the New York Knicks, but him. I'm convinced that he's a much better player than that. He's got a tough matchup tonight. Jaylen Brown, I just seen someone say in the chat, Jaylen Brown has over 50 points in his over 80 points in his last 2 games, and yes, he does. The guy's on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Day pregame show. For your most up-to-date sports content and betting odds, make sure you check out thegameday.com. The link is in the description of this video right here. And they got everything that you need to know to make sound, smart bets, if that's your thing. If it's not your thing, you might just check it out for the sports content. But make sure you check out thegameday.com, and make smart decisions with your money. The starting lineups for tonight, projected starting lineups for tonight, Alex Burks starting for the New York Knicks. Hold on. His name is not Alex, it's Alec. And sometimes my writers make mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. And if you didn't know, my writers are me. So it's not Alex Burke, it's Alec Burks. Excuse me for the typo. Alec Burks at point guard for the New York Knicks, Evan Fournier at shooting guard, RJ Barrett at small forward, Julius Randle at power forward, and Mitchell Robinson at center. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are probably not happy that Alec Burks is going to be starting at that point guard spot, but, like Tom Thibodeau always says, Alec Burks is like a Swiss Army knife for the New York Knicks. He does whatever is needed to be done, whether it's play defense, whether it's shoot the ball, catch and shoot, come off screens, go to the basket, score in the fourth quarter, start, come off the bench. Whatever you need for Alec Burks to do, he's doing. So right now, he's needed at that point guard spot. At least Tom Thibodeau thinks so. So he's going to start at that spot. Evan Fournier at shooting guard, R.J. Barrett at small forward, Julius Randle at power forward, Mitchell Robinson at center. For the Boston Celtics, Marcus Smart at point guard, Jaylen Brown, who we just talked about, he's been burning it up at shooting guard, Jason Tatum just back to the lineup at small forward, Al Horford at power forward, and Robert Williams at the center spot. When you look at these two lineups, ladies and gentlemen, they're teams that match up with one another, in my opinion. They match up with one another. Now, most people are going to say that the Celtics have the better two players in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and you may be correct. Based on what Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett have done so far this season, you may be correct. But they still have to match up against each other. And there lies the difference. They can have all these great numbers against all these other teams, but they got to match up against each other. The last time R.J. Barrett went up against Jason Tatum at the beginning of the season, he played very, very good defense on Jason Tatum. And you better be sure that Jason Tatum heard the chatter. He's going to be gunning for R.J. Barrett this game. R.J. Barrett didn't play the last time they played. The matchup that I'm worried about the most is Evan Fournier and Jaylen Brown, though. Worried about that matchup. Now, maybe Evan Fournier is not going to defend Jaylen Brown, and maybe Alec Burks, who's defending Jaylen Brown, and they leave Evan Fournier and Marcus Smart. That might be the best thing to do. Because I'm not sure Evan Fournier is ready to deal with Jaylen Brown. If he's guarding Jaylen Brown, I'm going to be concerned. Alec Burks is not an all-world defender either, but I think he'll do a better job on Jaylen Brown than Evan Fournier will. Julius Randle and Al Horford. Listen, Julius Randle should be able to score. I'm not going to say at will because Al Horford is a decent defender. He's savvy. He's a veteran. He's been around the league for a while. He understands how to defend players who are younger, quicker, faster, etc. Al Horford, I think he poses some problems for Julius Randle because he has the ability to shoot from the outside. So it's going to stretch Julius Randle a little bit. We all know Julius Randle is not the greatest at closing out. And if Al Horford is hovering around that three-point line, he's going to get some open shots. One, because of Julius Randle himself. Two, because it's the way that Tom Thibodeau has designed this defense. So I'm a little bit concerned about that matchup. I think Julius Randle should win that matchup, but I am a little concerned about it. I don't want to see Al Horford go crazy tonight. It's entirely possible, though. And then you got Mitchell Robinson and Robert Williams III. Listen, Robert Williams is a strong guy. There's a reason. I know he's small, but he's a strong guy. He can pound down low a little bit. I think Mitchell Robinson should have the upper hand. He's not going to score a ton of points, Mitchell Robinson. He never really does. If he's rebounding well, he'll get some offensive rebounds and get some putbacks. If R.J. Barrett and him have it going, or maybe him or Mitchell Robinson and Evan Fournier have it going, we'll be able to find Mitchell Robinson on some lobs. And that may be an area where we might have an advantage there. We don't utilize it all the time. You may not have the personnel out here right now to utilize that lob as much, right? Because Kemba Walker, he understands how to get guys open and find guys in the lob game. Not sure. Well, I don't want to say I'm not sure. I know Alec Burks doesn't really know how to do it. He can't create it himself. He can capitalize on the opportunity when it's there. We've seen him do that. I don't know if he's going to create it himself. Right now, R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, they've done it a few times. I'd like to see us look towards that a little bit in the beginning of the game. See if we can get Mitchell Robinson going. See if we can suck in that defense a little bit, and then go to Julius Randle and let him spray it out. Right? The bench, You know who the Knicks got on the bench. You got Taj Gibson on the bench. First of all, let me go back. Mitchell Robinson, I think he's going to start tonight. He didn't start in the previous game. Taj Gibson started. I think a lot of that was due to Mitchell Robinson just coming back from health and safety protocol. He should start tonight. If his conditioning is there, he should start tonight. If not, then, Taj Gibson will be the starter. But I think it'll be Mitchell Robinson starting. Off the bench, of course, you got Emmanuel Quickly. You got Obi Toppin. Miles McBride has been getting some burn off the bench. Quentin Grimes. Then, of course, Taj Gibson. I doubt Nerlens Noel is going to go. So I don't think we're going to see Nerlens Noel tonight. Kevin Knox is there, but he hasn't really been getting any burn. So we're going to be relying on Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin to give us points off the bench. Points off the bench, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to need it tonight against this team. IQJ says, I want to see Quentin Grimes get good minutes. I do as well, especially if Jaylen Brown is cooking. And I'm not saying that Quentin Grimes is going to shut him down, but maybe Quentin Grimes can make it a little bit more physical and a little tougher on a guy like Jaylen Brown to get a shot off. He might score anyway, but you want it to be hard. You don't want him to, just get easy forays to the basket and get super comfortable and start knocking down fadeaways and all kinds of wild stuff. Get Quentin Grimes on him some minutes. Make it tough for him to score. If he's going to score, at least make it be tough. That said, we need our bench. We need our bench. Step up and play some good basketball tonight. Obi Toppin, we need you to be in the game. You may get some minutes in the small ball attack, right? Because the Celtics can play some small basketball. They're already small. Al Horford, I think, is 6'10", right? But Robert Williams III, he's 6'9". So it's not like they got 7-footers out there on the floor. All right, so be ready, Obi. If you're playing good basketball, you're playing well, you might get some extended minutes if the Knicks decide to go, or if Tom Thibodeau decides to go with a smaller lineup tonight to match up against the Boston Celtics. I could see it happening. My matchup of the night, ladies and gentlemen, the Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night is R.J. Barrett and Jason Tatum. Now, what to say about this matchup? We talked about it just a little bit earlier. We're going to get into it a little bit deeper now. A lot of people like to compare R.J. Barrett to Jason Tatum and say he's not Jason Tatum. He's not as good as Jason Tatum, this, that, and the third. Right? And maybe he's not right now. But I'm going to tell you what. In the last 3 games, R.J. Barrett is playing the best basketball of his career. Okay? And if you look at Jason Tatum's season numbers and R.J. Barrett's numbers over the last 3 games, and maybe people will say that's not fair. Look at it season for season. Don't take R.J. Barrett's last 3 games. But, I was going to take Jason Tatum's last 3 games, but that wouldn't have been fair because he didn't come back until last game, and he had 19 points and whatever he did. Right? So I didn't think that was fair. I thought this was pretty fair. This is what R.J. Barrett is doing right now, and we'll take what Jason Tatum has been doing throughout the season. Right now, R.J. Barrett is averaging 25.7 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, 3 assists, 51.9% from the field, and he's shooting 27.8% from 3. We obviously want to see that 3-point shot get better. And he's shooting 66.7% from the free throw line. That's R.J. Barrett in the last 3 games, ladies and gentlemen. He's been playing aggressive, without fear, and he's the man. He's the guy. He's been playing like that. And we need him to continue to be aggressive. Jason Tatum for the season, 25.4 points per game, 8.6 rebounds, 3.7 assists, shooting 41.3% from the field. shoot 32.5% from the three-point line and 82.8% from the free throw line. Obviously, Jason Tatum's been an all-star, and he's done a lot more in this league than R.J. Barrett has done yet. But these two match up tonight. The last time they played against each other, R.J. Barrett played very good defense against Jason Tatum. Very good. I wouldn't be surprised if he could do the same thing tonight. All right, now the question is, can he repeat the offensive output against Jason Tatum? Right? Can he continue to have this output? Right? Clearly, he's going to extend his defense. Right? He's gonna use some extra energy playing defense tonight against Jason Tatum, because that's the caliber of player that Jason Tatum is. Is that going to negatively affect his offense? It could happen that way. I'm hoping it doesn't, because R.J. Barrett's been playing really, really good basketball, and we need him to continue to play that style if the Knicks are going to ride R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle to the playoffs. But this is the matchup of the night, ladies and gentlemen. R.J. Barrett, Jason Tatum, the Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. And if you want to learn some more about Thrive Fantasy, ladies and gentlemen, there's a link in the description of this video, thrivefantasy.com. Thrivefantasy.com. And if you use the code NBK, you will get a 100% match of your first deposit up to $100. They got some fun games on there. You got player props that you can use. You got over and under. You choose 10 players for the night, and you rock with them. Go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. ThriveFantasy.com. This is our Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. R.J. Barrett and Jason Tatum. I'm going to be watching it closely. Obviously, I want R.J. Barrett to win this matchup. Looking at the team comparison, ladies and gentlemen, it's always hard to do these team comparisons nowadays because so many players are out due to health and safety protocol. So what you see right now in front of your eyes isn't really indicative of either one of these teams. There's been so many changes, especially with the New York Knicks. Right? And just the way that they want to play, who's been in and out of the lineup, starting, not starting, all kinds of crazy stuff. But anyway, this is the numbers that these two teams are putting up so far this season. The Celtics, they average 107.9 points per game. The New York Knicks average 104.7. Celtics are averaging 46 rebounds. The Knicks 45.2. The Celtics are averaging 22.7 assists. The Knicks 21. Celtics 7.6 steals per game. The Knicks just about 7 steals per game. Both teams around 5 to 6 blocks per game. Both teams normally take care of the basketball. The Knicks a little bit better than the Celtics, but I don't think that's anything to capitalize on because they only turn it over 13.6 times per game. The Knicks are turning it over 12.7 times per game. And so, they're not really going to be turning the ball over where we got to capitalize on it and try to get fast break points and all that kind of stuff. The Celtics average 44.3 or are shooting 44.3% from the field, while the Knicks are shooting 43.6%. The Celtics are shooting 33.3% from the three-point line, and the Knicks 35.3% from the three-point line. But obviously, when teams play the Knicks so far this season, the way that the Knicks play defense leaves teams open from that three-point line, and they are capitalizing on it time and time again. We just seen the OKC Thunder coming to the game, averaging or shooting 30% from the three-point line, one of the worst in the league, ladies and gentlemen. One of the worst percentages in the league, and the Knicks allowed them to shoot, 40%? So, I wouldn't be too excited about that 33.3% from the three-point line for the Celtics because there's a good chance the Knicks allow them to shoot better than that tonight. The Knicks are shooting 35.3% from the three-point line. At one time, the New York Knicks were, ranked high in the league at three-point shooting, but, man, they just can't buy shots. Even in wins, they can't buy three-point shots. In the previous game against the Indiana Pacers, while the Knicks won the game, they scored 104 points, they still didn't shoot it well from the three-point line. In that game, the Knicks shot from the three-point line 21.4%. They were 6 for 28. And the problem is that they're getting wide open looks at the basket. Just ain't going down. Wide open looks, ladies and gentlemen. They got to start to hit these shots. Got to start to knock them down if they want to have a chance to win this game. If they want to have a chance to get to the playoffs, they got to start to knock these shots down. Big shout out to Ayub Matan. Thank you for the super chat. This goes back to RJ Barrett and Jason Tatum. He said, let's be honest, Sam. RJ can't even tie JT's shoes. Guess what? We will find out tonight. We will find out tonight. All right? It is what it is. The last time they played, the last time they matched up against each other, RJ Barrett brought handcuffs with him. How about that? He brought handcuffs with him. Am I saying that's going to happen tonight? No, I'm just saying RJ brought handcuffs with him and played crazy defense on Jason Tatum, and I'm expecting RJ to do it tonight. I agree with you, Vaughn. Tatum has polished footwork, very polished footwork. He does. He's a great player. I love Jason Tatum and what he does. But RJ Barrett put some clamps down in the previous game, and I'm hoping and expecting him to do the same tonight. Talk to me about Jason Tatum and his shoes being tied. Talking about. Anyway, let me get back to these numbers. See, threw me off track. Talking about, threw me off track. Anyway, back to the numbers. Points in the paint. The Boston Celtics averaged 44.3 points in the paint. The Knicks are averaging 41.9. Second chance points. The Celtics, 12.9 points per game. The New York Knicks are averaging 14.1 second chance points. They both average about 10 fast break points per game. Looking at the team leaders, the Celtics are led by Jason Tatum at 25.4 points per game. The Knicks are led by Julius Randle at 19.6 points per game. Robert Williams III, he leads the Celtics in rebounds at 8.9. Of course, Julius Randle leads the Knicks at 10.1. Marcus Smart is averaging 5.5 assists for the Celtics. Julius Randle, 4.9 for the New York Knicks. Robert Williams leads the Celtics in blocks at 1.9, and Mitchell Robinson leads the Knicks at 1.62 blocks per game for the New York Knicks. And that leads me to this, ladies and gentlemen. The player to watch for the night, the Thrive Fantasy player to watch is Mitchell Robinson. All right, his over-under is 1.5 blocks tonight. Mitchell Robinson is averaging 7.5 points per game, 8.1 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks on the season. He's shooting 76% from the field and 56.7% from the three-point line. But tonight, we are worried about the blocks. I want to know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Will Mitchell Robinson get 2 blocks tonight? There's a very good chance that he does. Will he get 2 blocks tonight? I'm going to put it in the poll. I'm going to put a poll in the chat and see what you think. Right? Will Mitchell Robinson get 2 blocks tonight? Let me know what you think, man. Over or under? Just the Thrive Fantasy player to watch tonight is Mitchell Robinson. There's another player to watch, Alec Burks. They have Alec Burks at 0.5 steals. I think Alec Burks will get that tonight. I think he'll get a steal tonight. He normally, I don't even know what his average is. I think he normally averages about a steal per game. You know what I mean? You know, this is going to be the type of game that's scrappy. You know, I'm not going to say it's a lot of turnovers because both teams turn over the ball. I mean, take care of the ball, but it's scrappy. So there maybe the turnovers will be elevated. Maybe there'll be 14 turnovers. I think Alec Burks will get one. But will Mitchell Robinson get over or under 1.5 blocks tonight? That's the player to watch. The Thrive Fantasy player to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, Mitchell Robinson. I got him getting over. I think he gets 2. I think it might be necessary tonight to get a couple of blocks. Want to check out the keys to the game. My keys to the game. Number 1, play with energy. You got to bring that energy tonight. Like I said, these teams are knotted at 18-20. They're 1-1 on the season. They're battling for that 10th spot in the Eastern Conference, at least at this point. You got to bring the energy to the game. If you don't bring energy, you might be going home sore tonight, right? Heart sore, emotionally sore, because you got blown. You got to come with energy tonight. We need the right energy. I think we need to send different defenders towards Jaylen Brown. He's been hooping lately. He's been balling, right? So you got Evan Fournier. You got Alec Burks. You got Quentin Grimes that we can send towards Jaylen Brown. I'm pretty sure there's going to be times when Julius Randle gets switched off to Jaylen Brown or RJ Barrett every once in a while. So, you know, send different defenders towards that guy because he's playing hot. RJ must remain aggressive. Okay? Stay aggressive. Don't take a back seat to Julius Randle or anybody else. Stay aggressive. Play your game. Be tough. We need Burks or Fournier to step up. Normally, Burks steps up. I'm looking for Fournier to step up. It's a former team. The last time these two teams played, Fournier had a good game. We need him to do the same tonight. Be ready to play. Be aggressive. Knock down that shot. I'm looking for Tom Thibodeau to help him by using strategy to get involved in the game. And then be ready for aggressive play. Anytime we're playing teams in the Eastern Conference, Boston, Indiana, Miami, Toronto, you know these games going to be aggressive. Got to have the right mindset to play in those type of games, ladies and gentlemen. Got to have the right mindset. Anyway, I think the Knicks can get a win tonight. They got to. They got to get this win tonight. They win the first end of a home and away versus the Celtics. And then you have a chance to sweep it when you go to Boston. So they got to get this win tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I got a couple of minutes left. Give me a phone call. 516-405-2246. All right, Ray Mel Leonard said, don't count on it. See? I don't know if Ray Mel is a Celtics fan or a Knicks fan. What you mean? What you talking about? This has been a tough matchup all season, regardless who's been there. You know what I'm saying? Don't count the Knicks out now. Don't count them out now. Think they can get this win tonight. Think they can get it tonight. If you're just joining us, I'll do another quick little rundown. If you're just joining us, looking at the injury report for the New York Knicks tonight. Ryan Arcidiacono, he's out with a left ankle sprain. Nerlens Noel, he's questionable, just returning from health and safety protocols. He was out for a while, remember that. So it might take a little while before he actually gets back into game shape. Derrick Rose, right ankle surgery. You know, he's down for a while. Lucas in the G League and Kemba Walker, he's still out with left knee soreness. For the Boston Celtics, Peyton Pritchard, he's out due to health and safety protocols. Broderick Thomas, he's out with lower back pain. So for the Knicks, I mean, still, they're missing a starter in Kemba Walker and 2 key rotation players in Derrick Rose and Nerlens Noel. All right, projected starting lineups for the night for the Knicks: Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. And for the Celtics, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Robert Williams III. Looking at the 2 lineups, the matchups, you see it on the screen. I actually expect Evan Fournier to guard Marcus Smart and Alec Burks to take his chances with Jaylen Brown. You got RJ Barrett and Jason Tatum, Julius Randle and Al Horford. I'm not exactly excited about that Randle Al Horford matchup. You know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. And then you got Mitchell Robinson and Robert Williams III. All right. Key matchups: RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen, and Jason Tatum. That's my key matchup for the night. RJ Barrett's been playing good basketball lately. Over his last 3 games, he's averaging 25.7 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 51.9% from the field and 27.8% from 3. Of course, we'd like to see that 3-point shooting raised up. And he's shooting 66.7% from the free throw line. And Jason Tatum, he's averaging for the season 25.4 points per game, 8.6 rebounds, 3.7 assists, shooting 41.3% from the field, 32.5% from 3, and 82.8% from the free throw line. And yes, RJ Barrett locked up that man on the opening night of the season. And I want to see him do it again. That's the Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. Go to thrivefantasy.com and make your first deposit. 100% of your first deposit up to $100, they will match, ladies and gentlemen. And you can use it for player props and a contest lobby and over-unders and all kinds of stuff that they got on there that you can use it for. So make sure you go to thrivefantasy.com. We get to this caller here. Caller, you live. What's poppin'?
Hey, Sim, this is Stephanie.
Hey, Steph. How you feeling?
Originally from Brooklyn, New York, but in Georgia right now.
What's going on? How you doing, Steph?
I'm good. I just wanted to comment on the keys to the game. First, I want to say that we're getting healthy, so I'm encouraged by this game. Mm-hmm. RJ has been playing well the past few games. Randle looked sharp, so I'm encouraged by this game tonight. But in terms of the keys to the game, one that I would add is, and I guess it may be understood, RJ and Randle have to show up tonight, and they have to show up big. If they don't, I don't think we win this game. I just don't think we can count on, a Burks or our second unit to beat Boston. And our second unit has come through for us big this season. But I just think for us to have the best chance to win, it has to be RJ and Randle. And if it's not RJ, then Fournier has to step up. And I mean huge. Jaylen Tatum. Jaylen Brown dropped 50 the other night. Right. He has that capability, if he gets hot, and Tatum does as well. And as far as the RJ Tatum matchup, my only concern, I do think RJ can make it difficult for Tatum. But I just think if he does, then I don't know how much we can count on him to score as well and give us the scoring punch we need. It just takes a lot of energy to kind of make it tough for him and then score on the other end. That's my only concern about it. But like I said, I'm encouraged going into this game.
Yeah, that's the same concern I brought up a little bit earlier. Does the energy that he has to expend defending Jason Tatum take away from his offensive game?
Right.
And it makes sense that it will.
Yeah. So somebody else is going to have to show up for us. I mean, Fournier plays well against Boston. I hate that, though. I just need Fournier every night. Right. But he does play well against Boston, and we're going to need it.
Yeah, we're going to need it tonight. What's he averaging against Boston?
I'm not sure, but I think if we did the splits, I'm pretty sure against Boston he's averaging more.
He's got to be killing it against Boston, and I don't know if it's just because it's his old team or he's familiar with the way that how they want to play defense.
Right, that's a good point.
Because he was just there, so he probably understands some things about that team. Let me see. I'm pulling up the numbers right now against Boston. Evan Fournier, he's actually the leading scorer for the Knicks against Boston. He's averaging 32 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, along with 3 steals against Boston. He's shooting 53% from the field and 43.5% from the three-point line against the Celtics.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
if we can get that tonight, then RJ can focus on defense.
Right. But even in the first game, RJ had 19 points. He shot 54% from the field. He shot 43% from the three-point line in that first game against Boston. That's the only game he's played against Boston this season. He was out in the second game.
Right. Okay.
So.
Well, then he did it before then. He played both ends that first game. So
right.
Let's see. I'm hoping you're right, Phil, when you said that, hopefully something has clicked in RJ when Randle was out. And if that's the case, and we get this aggressiveness, I mean, the numbers may not be the same every game, but if we get this aggressiveness each game, that's going to bode well for us.
Right. That's the key right there, that aggressiveness each game. We will see tonight. The game starts at 7:30. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for taking my call, Sam.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
And hopefully I can make the post game.
All right. I'll looking forward to it.
All right.
All right. Later. Yeah, let's see, ladies and gentlemen. And Julius Randle against the Celtics is averaging 27.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 8 assists in 2 games this season against the Celtics. So we'll see what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We will see what it is. Just finishing my quick rundown, of course, and we just heard it because we just talked about it. The Thrive Fantasy player to watch tonight is Mitchell Robinson. His over-under is 1.5 blocks. He's averaging 7.5 points per game, 8.1 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks per game. Right? So, for him to go over 1.5, he's got to get 2 because you're not going to get partial blocks, etc. Right? So, there's a poll in the chat right now. Tell me, do you think Mitchell Robinson will go over or under 1.5 blocks? I'm taking the over on that bet. Hey, I took the over against Evan Fournier. Didn't work out too good for me. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Yes, from New York.
What's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
What's up, man? Nothing much. Just want to let you guys know that I personally think we should trade RJ Barrett. I know he's been playing really well the past couple of games, but in my honest opinion, I think his trade value is just going up. I don't think he's a future fit for the Knicks moving forward. I don't think a deal at the trade deadline is likely for him. I think the Knicks could try and move him for a bigger piece in the offseason. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know. We just seen Julius Randle and RJ Barrett play well together. Obviously, that's going to be recency bias for a lot of people. But I want to see what they can do. I want to, they've been together for 3 years. And sometimes it takes a little while for that chemistry to build, for that chemistry to grow. And when I say a little while, I mean more than 3 years because RJ Barrett, his first year in the league, and Julius Randle's first year on this team, RJ Barrett was a rookie. So I want to see it grow a little bit.
No, I agree with you definitely, man. But the thing is, a lot of the Knicks fans, there's like half of them that hate RJ, half of them that support him. But, the honest thing about RJ Barrett is, man, the Knicks truly don't know who he is, Is he a great defender who can only average like about 10 points a game? Or is he like a 15 to 18-point game scorer per night with some solid defense? We don't have a clear cut of what he really is, because he's too inconsistent. You know what I mean?
But that's that. I know exactly what you mean, but that's why he's only in his third year in the league. You know what I mean? We got to learn about the kid a little bit and figure it out. Me personally, I just kind of believe you get a rookie, you rock with that guy throughout his rookie contract, and then make a decision on him. You know, that's the reason why those rookie contracts sometimes are a little bit longer, so you can give the guy a chance to grow. You know,
oh yeah, definitely.
The only way to me you trade one of those guys is if something comes out the blue that's like, you know, this is a slam dunk. We got to do this. You know, but I'm not going out and shopping RJ. I'm trying to watch the kid. I want to, you know, I'm trying to watch the kid grow and see what happens.
No, absolutely. You know, I want to give a lot of credit to Mitchell Robinson. He's been playing really well of late. You know, hopefully he can stay healthy for us. He's a big piece, I think. I think we should definitely re-sign him.
He's been playing really well lately. You know what I mean? And hopefully he can continue that.
He's playing really well.
Yeah.
Hopefully we win against the Celtics tonight. It's going to be a tough game, but, you know, I think we got a shot.
It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. You already know it's going to be a battle between the Knicks and the Celtics. Yeah. It's always going to be a battle. So, you know, just, you know, hold your pants on tight and be ready for it. It's going to be a lot of screaming and hollering and yelling tonight because both teams are playing for a lot right now.
Absolutely.
Like I said,
do you think
they're both 18 and 20.
Do you think Obi Toppin is being used by Coach Tibbs correctly? Like, what's your opinion on that? Because a lot of Knicks fans are calling him a bust.
Well, I mean, I think this season, they're only calling him a bust because of his draft position, right? People who call him that. But I think this season, they've done a much better job using Obi. You know, his skill set is running and jumping. And that's how the Knicks kind of use him. You know, he still has a lot to do to work on his footwork and, you know, some of the more advanced skills. You know?
Yeah.
He has a lot of work to go there. But I think the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau figured out the best way to use him this season. And you're seeing, you know, you're seeing the guards really look for him. Last year, I don't think they knew that he was always going to be in the right spot. This year, absolutely. I think they know he's going to be in the right spots to catch the lob. You know I can throw it up and like quickly knows he can throw it up. Nobody can jump with him. You know, so I think they're using him better this year.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And him and IQ have great chemistry, but sometimes I feel like I know Emmanuel quickly. He's a great player. You know, he hits a lot of big shots for us in the fourth quarter. You know, whether we're down or we're up. But sometimes I feel like a lot of the possessions, you know, he doesn't look to pass the ball.
Oh, I mean,
he's like more of an ISO player. I think if he could look to pass the ball around a bit more, you know, that way we don't have to take a lot of contested jump shots, you know.
Right. Hey, that's the kind of player that IQ is. There's no doubt about that. That's the kind of player he is. Hey, my man, I appreciate your call. Thank you for your time, bro.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Have a good one. Day. Yeah, no doubt. Have a good one. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to trade RJ, though. There's a lot of people out there that always, you know, even when he's not playing good, I'm not the one that's like, we got to trade him. I'm more like, let's rock with him for a little bit. Let's rock with him throughout this rookie contract and then make a decision on where we think he lands and what his future might be. And even then, you could be wrong about what his future might be, but you got to make a decision at some point. You know what I mean? I see Raw Hebrew said, I have the patience of a saint. I'm about patience, no doubt about it. I'm about patience. I'm also about consistency. I'm telling you. One of the reasons that the New York Knicks were good last year is because Alfred Payton, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Reggie Bullock, Mitchell Robinson, they were together the previous year. And then guess what? Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, they were together the season before that. Or something. No, actually they weren't. My bad. I'm tripping. This is RJ Barrett's third year, so they weren't. Scratch that I said that. Right? But last year, you know, was their second year together. They built some chemistry from the season before. That helped. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you've got to let some things, you just got to let it simmer a little bit. You got to let it simmer a little bit. This is the third season that Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson has been together. The third season. You know what I'm saying? Next year is the fourth season. And at this point, now you start to look and say, you know what? Are these guys really coming together and building something, or is it just not going to be? But you got to give it some time to simmer. You dig? Anyway, let me get to my man on the call. J Boog, what's popping with you, brother?
Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. You know what's popping? The NBK Network. That's what's popping. My man Sim, a.k.a. Ron O'Neal, the Superfly, the podcaster. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody rocking that orange and blue. A big special shout out to my man Ron Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? That's the real preacher. I see you in the chat. Just wanted to shout you out. And nah, caller, we ain't trading RJ. That's Bruce Lee. Who? Some say Batman and Robin? No, Kato and the Green Hornet. That's RJ. Kato, you know what I'm saying? We ain't getting rid of nobody. Right now, we trying to big our squad up, big our team up. We can't cook right now. We got to get the ingredients right. If the ingredients is right, then you can cook a full course meal, and you can hand out plates and have people come sit down at the table and have a good dinner. But guess what? I told y'all the other day about them 5 tandems, you know what I'm saying, in the East. Guess what? The number 4 tandem, you on the radar tonight. I'm looking to knock you and the whole green leprechaun head off tonight. I don't care about your play last night. Push that ball down their throat. Make sure we get at these dudes. I need that shoe program, Pelican Bay. Yeah, 23-1. You don't know what that is? 1 hour to get a shower. You know what I'm saying? We got the clamps on them tonight. Handle our business. This the dustpan tonight. The next game going to be the broom. We about to handle our business. All those that don't believe and lost faith in us, stay tuned and keep watching. But don't start keeping that negative vibe coming, because when this thing twists around, we start going in that right direction that we was all praying and hoping for, we're going to take off, and we're going to spin off the tires on you. So just be easy right now. Everybody continue to stay healthy and safe. That thing is still out there, you know what I'm saying? Protect yourself and protect your home. Love your loved ones, you know what I'm saying? That worldwide news is telling you breaking news each and every day, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on. So please continue on staying healthy and safe. Get you a nice meal. Get your shower after you work today. Sit down. The Knicks is on TV tonight. MSG, NBA, ESPN, all channels, all podcasts, everything. We on live tonight. Time to handle our business. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll get back at y'all after the game with this victory.
No doubt. J Boog in the building, ladies and gentlemen. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Before I get out of here, my man Savvy D is here. I want to make sure I get him in because he's been waiting patiently. You know what I'm saying? So, Savvy, once you get your camera back on, I get you in so we can, get you to drop some last words on us. Keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen, before I get to Savvy D, play with energy, right? This is a big game tonight. A big game. Both teams are 18-20. They're 1-1 on the season. They're both fighting for that 10th play-in seed right now. So this is a big game. The winner of tonight's game will claim that 10th seed. And then they play again on Saturday. That's just going to be a battle tonight. Play with energy. You got to bring it. Send different defenders towards Jaylen Brown. He's been balling frequently lately. 80 points in his last 2 games, more than 80 points in his last 2 games. Send a couple of defenders towards him. Make him work. Quentin Grimes better be one of them. RJ's got to remain aggressive tonight. Play your basketball game. Be aggressive. Let the world know that, hey, it clicked, and I am one of the future guys on this team. Burks or Fournier or both need to step up and play. Like we just said, Fournier's averaging 32 points a game versus the Celtics. We need that tonight. Then, of course, be ready for aggressive play. This is the Game Day pregame show, ladies and gentlemen. The Game Day pregame show. There's a link in the description of this video. Make sure you go to the Game Day for all of your most up-to-date sports content and betting odds. And you can get odds from different betting platforms so you can make an informed decision about where you're putting your money. Savvy, what's popping with you, bro? Really quick, I just getting you in, but I only got like 2 minutes, man. I got to run the basketball practice myself. What's good?
I already know, fam. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you. Salute to the chat. Salute to the whole MBK nation. Smart money on Mitchell Robinson getting more than 1.5 blocks tonight. I'm looking forward to a hard-fought Knicks victory. We got the same record, and we're playing against Boston. So I'm chomping at the bit to get this win. Only games I wanted this season are the games against Boston the games against Atlanta, and probably every single time that we play the Pacers. You know, my wild card in there is probably the Minnesota games. Those are the ones that really get me going, just because I have a gripe. I have a bone to pick with each of those teams. So let's get this win. But they got a 2-man, we got a 2-man. All right? So as long as we do what we're supposed to do, and our role players around those guys do what they're supposed to do, I think we'll pull this one out. Lock in on defense, commit to defense first, let the offense come to you. We need Evan Fournier to be petty tonight, hold the grudge, and ball out against your former team. MBK, what's up? Let's get it pop.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Savvy, like I said, I'm sorry I got you in late. But, you know, I'm sure you'll be here in the post-game show. We're going to head up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your time. I do want to shout out Nick of Time Show in the chat. Peace to you, man. Great content over there. Make sure you go check out Nick of Time Show and the content that they drop. A lot of Knicks creators from all over the place, man. You know, we doing it big, no doubt about it. But I'm up out of here. I got to get to basketball practice. This has been the Game Day pregame show. Make sure you check out thegameday.com. The link is in the description of this video. I'll catch you on the postgame 10:15. Oh, and, you know, for those who were interested, on the front stoop tonight at 11:30, we're going to do a song-by-song review of Nas's new Magic album. So make sure that you are joining us there. All right? If you're not subscribed, go subscribe to the front stoop. Make sure you turn them notifications on so you get the notification when it's time for that show to start. But it's starting at 11:30. Right after I do the post-game show, we're jumping right over there and jumping into that. So I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Be peaceful. Enjoy the game tonight. Spread love.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.